All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. The reason why I haven't done a video in a while is because I don't want this to be some type of clickbaity channel. I know there was a lot of news out of the Trump camp about the lawsuits that they were filing in all the different states. Uh, Trump, his own team, I think, had filed the key ones, and then there were a whole bunch filed by other people. But there's enough clickbaity news about that we're basically just getting people riled up. There really wasn't anything to report until we got some actual hard news, which now we have. So here we have it. Pennsylvania is certifying Biden's victory. So they have officially certified their votes to it. They had already certified Georgia and Michigan. So this now officially puts Biden over the 270 needed. So at this point, Trump still has some legal maneuvering he can do, but I mean, now you're looking at odds like winning the lottery type odds. Yeah, I mean, people do win the lottery, but extremely highly unlikely. So we have here from this is straight from the New York Times. Transition highlights Trump authorizes administration to begin working with Biden on transition. So, even his own administration is they're now pretty much in acceptance stage of the five stages of grief. They've finally now come into acceptance that yeah, they lost. You're you're better off kind of bowing out, especially if you want to run again in 2024 instead of really going balls to the wall and trying to screw everything up. You know, a lot of people want to talk about the possible fraud. There has been, they have, of course, come across some fraud, which, fraud, I believe, happens in every election that we have. But was it on the scale needed to push Biden for the win? Then you'd have to be talking hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of votes that would be needed. Um, it If something like that did happen, I would hope that they uncover it to ensure that it doesn't happen again. I really don't see why we can't, moving forward, move to some type of online voting. If you could get a secure website, I mean, I can, with my social security number and information like that, I can access my bank account and do whatever I want with all my money. And I'm far more concerned with my money in my bank than I am with my vote. So I would think that with tracking your IP address and stuff like that they could really get that far more secure than a mail-in. There have been some reports that they've uncovered like over 1,000 votes that were mailed in with the address being a PO box, and they disguised it by having labeling it as like an apartment number or a unit number, but still, once again, not to the degree that would have changed anything. So I know there's also a lot of talk about the Dominion, the machines that counted the votes, and that those were just registering at Biden, that there is a huge scam going on there. But like Georgia did what, like three, two more, like counting it by hand, and it still came up with Biden winning. So a lot of that is just kind of, I think, faulty news that is going around, and yeah, I think I really hope people start to understand that, yeah, this is over. Biden's the next president. Uh, Hopefully Trump stops tweeting insane stuff that he's going to win. I think now with this transition article, if this is true, I think a lot of that's going to stop. It looks like that they're already distancing themselves from that the lady who's been all over the news saying that Trump won in a huge landslide. She's supposedly been the head of the legal team, but now it looks like they're kind of moving away from her because she said just some crazy stuff and basically just getting his supporters riled up. I mean, why would you want to do that? Now you're coming into a situation where a huge portion of the country thinks that there was some type of massive fraud to get the next president in, and then are we going to have riots or craziness? I hope not. So anyway, uh, now with Biden in, what kind of awesome stuff do we have to look forward with him? Well, I believe we are going to have some type of mask mandate, and it looks like they want to do masks even after we have a vaccine. Because they're saying that the vaccine is only 90 to 95% effective. They want to vaccinate as many people as they can immediately. I mean, here we have Fauci saying 20 million people could get it by the end of the year, which, I mean, oh my God, if you're signing up for that first run, this is a, 90 to 95% effectiveness vaccine against a disease that has a 99.8 survivability. Seems like you're really kind of rolling the dice there to take that. I really do not trust this man at all. He said something interesting in here. Here we go. Asked what he thought about President-elect Joe Biden's grasp of and appreciation for science, Fauci said it was considerable. In fact, if not profound, from a number of standpoints. Oh yeah, I bet he loves Biden because Biden's going to totally roll along with all stuff. I mean, he's going to roll along with anything. These the massive corporations and the lobbyists tell him to do. So even after everybody that thought that once we get this vaccine rolling out, that things are going to go back to normal, they are not going to go back to normal. They are talking about. I think the initial thing was an app, having some type of app on your phone showing that you have been vaccinated, which basically then gave you permission, I guess, to like go out in public, probably go into like federal places, fly, stuff like that. But you'll probably be needed. It'll probably be needed at some point to like go back to work or whatever. And businesses might say, we're only going to allow people inside that can prove that they've been vaccinated. Well, now they had it leaked on the internet. I couldn't find the video. This teacher talking to students about this, and they said that they don't believe an app on the phone would be enough because someone could just let somebody else, a friend, use their phone. So they're also considering doing a wristband that you would get when you get vaccinated, and you get a wristband showing that you're up to date on your vaccination, and that the band would not be able to be removed. And he kind of sold it to the class as like, yeah, and you think of it as like a badge of honor that you have this band, but I'm here like screaming at the TV, like, wait a minute, they're gonna put a band on you that you can't remove. I mean, this is stuff that even some of the most dystopian Hollywood films never even thought of. It's really, really creepy and scary. So I don't know. I'm gonna in the future I'll see if I can find that video and maybe I'll do maybe a more bigger explanation in the coronavirus and we'll take a look at some of the people Biden's been picking for his staff and why I think that not only are we going to continue with our endless wars in the Middle East, but that we're probably going to start some new ones, and where I think likely that we'll go into next. So yeah, I'll try to keep uploading as frequently as possible, and thank you all for coming out.